Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the FPL show for KB We Love Football. Amazing podcast, amazing podcasters as well on the show tonight. Tonight we have two fantastic podcasters. We've got the man, the myth, the legend. We have got Birchie. How are we doing, Birchie?
I'm great, Phil. What about yourself?
I'm absolutely fantastic, mate. And from the borders of Scotland, we have Turbo Tom. How are we doing, Tom?
Yeah, really good. Gentlemen, thanks for having me on. I look forward to this very simple show where it's just simple things that you need to do to make sure that you win.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward.
Simple things for simple minds. We've got some viewers already. Guys, I just want everybody to know and everybody to understand that is watching this FPL. This week, we are on game week 34. That means there's 3 games that are not happening with 6 teams. So this game week, we are missing out on the following teams. There is no Brighton and Hove Albion. There is no Manchester City games. There are no Burnley games. There are also no Chelsea games, Bournemouth games, and Leeds United games. They are not playing this game week. So we're on a blanker. That means there is only 7 games happening. Now, I am very, very conscious. The game week ends in precisely 28 minutes. So I'm really, really conscious. We're going to flip this show on its head a little bit. And this week, we're going to start talking about game week 34 first. And then we're going to drop back into game week 33 and see how everybody got on during game week 33. Now, the important thing to remember is we are on a gap this week. So there is 7 games being played, 3 games not being played. Very, very crucial. The first game being tonight, which is Sunderland versus Nottingham Forest. That is at 8 o'clock. Be interesting to see how that game pans out later on tonight. It'd be also interesting to see if any of our pundits and any of the people watching at home have got any Sunderland or any Forest players in their squad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get up on the screen to start with. We're going to have a look at our pundits' teams for this week, and it'll be really, really interesting to hear from the crowd and hear from the people that are watching what their picks are for game week 34. Have they picked any chips? Now, that's the first question. Obviously, last game week, boys, we had a double game week. A few people decided to use either the wild card, maybe use their free hit, or I know a few people did decide to use their triple captain. Did either of you two use a chip last week?
No, I was week before, I think.
Tom, did you use a chip last week?
I got waylaid and completely forgot it was a double game week. Hence, no, I did nothing. However, we'll come on to my team shortly for this week. So I've still got 3 chips left.
3 chips and 4 games?
Indeed.
Or 5 games, essentially, because obviously...
Indeed. There'll be another double game week, won't there?
There is wind of another double game week around.
They'll have to be, Phil. So
yeah,
listen,
so game week 36.
Yeah, no issue.
I get it, mate. Just remember, you can only play 1 chip each week, mate. So that's all I'm.
Indeed, Phil. Indeed.
Right. So let's have a quick look. Bushy's already in the chat. Forest going to lose, so no Forest players for me. Okay, that's fair enough, Bushy. Now we're going to have a talk about Forest players just very, very shortly. But I am very conscious. Obviously, game week 34 is the deadline is in 26 minutes. So I'm very conscious that we make sure that we get the full use of the next 26 odd minutes to discuss this game week. So we're going to look at each of our pundits' game weeks and what they're playing for game week 34 and how they're going to bring that squad to the forefront. So let's have a quick look at Birch's. So this is what Birch's game
cool.
34 looks like. I've jazzed it up a little bit, made a few little characters out of it. So Birchie, do you want to talk us through your squad, mate? Obviously, you've gone for what have you gone for? 4-3-3?
Yeah, I always like to play 4-3-3. I like the extra striker. It gives you a few more points when it comes around. I mean, I would trap this week because I've lost Ireland. I've lost. Go on. I forget his name, defender. Is it Matthews for City as well? Name always blanks me. I've lost. Who else I lost? I lost another one up front, and I lost all midfield. So all of them on the bench there, most of them are usually starters. But I couldn't play them, obviously, because they hadn't got a game. So I had to drop them, and then I had to make 5.
There you go. Petrovic, Semenyo, Caicedo, and Bogle all on the bench there, obviously.
Well, to be fair, Bogle's usually a bencher anyway, but Caicedo swaps in and out on game weeks, but Semenyo and Petrovic usually my number 1. I tend to swap between him and Roos because better option, but that's why at the moment I've got a Sunderland keeper and then a Forest defender. So I've just had to have a look. So if I get 5 points for clean sheet for one of them, it'd be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this morning I put it out about the FPL show and see who was interested in coming on tonight. And obviously Ben showed his team for game week 34, and he got very similar, but yeah, I think he'd got quite a few more. So he'd got 3 Sunderland players and a Forest player. So he'd got a Forest striker in Jesus, and he'd got a Sunderland midfielder, a Sunderland defender, and a Sunderland goalkeeper. You kind of like shooting yourself in the foot, really. I mean, he was quite fortunate. I don't think Jesus is going to start tonight. He'll definitely be on the bench, but I don't think he's going to start tonight. So, you know, you're not going to get many points from him unless he comes on and decides to score 2 this week instead of 1 like he did last week. So, you know, you're then edging your bets on the defensive contributions of Sunderland. Yeah, I'm not convinced. But we'll see. The game will, that's the whole point of FPL. But yeah, you've gone for obviously Rose in goal. Your back 4 of the general that is Virgil van Dijk, Gabriel, the engine of Nico Williams. Nice to see a Forest player in there, and the enforcer of Tarkowski for Everton. Your midfield of Rodgers, Rice, and Wilson, keeping Rice in the middle there, like with his little star next to him. I quite like that. And then you've got up front your 3 of Bowen, Thiago, and Watkins, and you've decided to captain Watkins.
Well, to be fair, I didn't realise that because I had subbed out Haaland for Watkins, so it's put him as captain automatically. If I remembered, I'd have put Van Dijk as my captain.
Well, listen, mate, you've got 22 minutes if you want to change that very, very quickly on your phone, mate.
Well, maybe fate picked Watkins for a reason, so I might take a shot at him and see what happens. You never know. He's been picked for a reason, hasn't he? So
absolutely, there's a reason for everything. Guys, we've got 36, 35 watchers already on the show. I'm talking with my mouth full, which is extremely rude, but I've hardly eaten all day. Please, guys, message him. Let us know what you think to Bertie's team for game week 34. Have you got any similar players? Are you confident on those players then, Bertie, what you've got there?
Well, Rodgers, Rice and Wilson are me. Rodgers, Rice and Wilson tend to be in my midfield every week anyway. Obviously, Caicedo and Semenyo swap in there depending on who's playing what. So I'm happy with the midfield.
So for anybody that doesn't know, obviously tonight we've got the one game, which is Sunderland versus Forest. That kicks off at 8 o'clock. Then Saturday we've got the majority of the games. 12:30 kickoff for Fulham versus Aston Villa, and then a 3 o'clock kickoff for Liverpool, Crystal Palace, West Ham versus Everton, Wolves versus Spurs, and then a 5:30 kickoff for Arsenal versus Newcastle. And then not to forget, obviously no games on Sunday. Nice bit of a rest. And then on Monday it is just a bog standard Man United versus Brentford. So a nice win coming for Brentford at Old Trafford there. So, in terms of it, I think looking at your squad, mate, apart from Thiago, you'll be wrapped up by Saturday and sitting pretty with, maybe 100 points this week. Bertie, is that what we're going for?
Well, I'm hoping. So, I mean, Bowen's in a bit of form, so bringing him in, I don't think that were a negative point bringing him in. Watkins on and off game, so like I said, he could do the business. The defence were the one that I was struggling with. I mean, Nico Williams had some very good games for Forest. I mean, get a clean sheet tonight is a bonus for me, so I'll be happy with that. And Tarkowski's, well, he does what he does every game, doesn't he? So I'm happy with choices I had. I mean, I'd take a -4 just to make the 5th transfer because I'm hoping next week I can use me free and get my plays back what I needed back. So I took a shot this week at a -4, but I'm hoping Watkins gets me an hat-trick, the -4 means nothing, doesn't it? So you never know.
Absolutely. So I think it's a pretty solid squad there. I think having a Forest player in there, why not? You're going to get at least 100 points, and that's just from Nico Williams in my mind. So yeah, no, absolutely, mate, absolutely fantastic. So let's have a look at turbos. Oh, they're all little babies. Look at them. There they are. So this is Turbo Tom's. Obviously, Tom, talk us through your squad, mate. Let us know what you've done. Have you used the chip? How have you gone about Game Week 30-14?
Well, obviously, after a meeting that I had this afternoon, I was not given much time to alter things. However, I have gone with the free hit. I've gone with probably the best penalty saver in the league in Queven Kelleher. They're playing Man United, and there'll be some contradictions here. I've got Gabriel and Saliba and Virgil van Dijk as me 3 centre halves, and that's just printing points. That for me. My midfield: Morgan Rogers, Bruno Fernandes, Dominic Slobozlai, and MGW. Your favourite person, Phil, Morgan Gibbs.
Wow! The fact that you've got MGW in there, mate. Wow! What can I say to that, eh?
And then I've gone with the front three of Thiago Gyökeres and Ollie Watkins. I've captained Bruno Fernandes as things stand. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm well out of the conversation this season regards our league, but it's all about building foundations for next season. I did notice when looking at the league before that a former member of our illustrious channel, George Harper, has now indeed overtaken me, but that is because he's obviously used his triple captain, so on and so forth. But
I think he actually used his bench boost from what I remember looking at. I think
I've seen bench boost. Yeah,
he got 136 points in last game week.
Wow,
which was phenomenal, but that was down to his bench boost, and every single one of his 11 starters and his 4 on the bench all were double game weekers. So he got himself in that position very luckily.
I mean, are we saying now that Glory Hole, or George as he is known, is maybe like a master tactician when it comes to FPL?
He just had twice the games to do it in, didn't he?
Maybe a master something, but I don't think a tactician is what I was after, mate.
I do miss George. I do.
We all miss a bit of GH. We all miss a bit. I mean, to be fair to you there, Tom, you said your back three, printing points. Yeah, I don't think you're far off there, mate. To be fair, mate, you've got Gabriel and Saliba. Obviously, they've got Newcastle at home. Newcastle not on form in the slightest. I know Arsenal have had that little divot, but I think they're going to fight back. Whether they win the league, that's another discussion for another show. But yeah, I think having Gabriel and Saliba as their back two there, I think that's solid. Virgil did really well in the double game week. He got people quite some good points in that. Really caused an upset, obviously, on the Everton game. So, I think having those three at the back, I think you've got a good solid back three there, mate. Again, 3 up front with the Thiago, Gyökeres, and Watkins. Again, pretty solid on that one. Yeah, I quite like your squad there, mate. I quite like it, to be fair.
This is because, Phil, I'm an expert, mate. Let's
is that what it is, mate? How many points did you get in the double game week last week, Tom?
I forgot about the double game week because
that old excuse was it? Oh, right.
I forgot. Imagine if I had concentrated on a double game week.
I tell you what, mate, you're worse than some of my employees with the excuses of why things haven't been done.
Well, do you know what I mean? I don't have any employees. It's just me.
No.
But listen, honestly, knowledge.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at a proper squad, shall we? Now that is an FPL squad.
Right. So why have we? Right, Phil. Hang on. Why is Luke had like some cartoon characters? I've had babies, and now you've got the actual people.
It's what the program. It's what the program gives you, mate. It's what the program gives you. Now, have you noticed though something, Tom? we've got very similar players. It's because we've got knowledge, mate. Obviously, I've got Pickford in goal instead of your Kelly, but that's purely because they've got West Ham. Obviously, I've got Gabriel and Virgil at the back there. And look at our midfield, though. I think that's about the same, isn't it? Bruno Fernandes.
It's exactly the same.
Rodgers.
Hang on, Phil. You asked me to send you my team, right?
Yeah, you sent it 3 minutes before you came on, mate. I'd got this set up ages ago. In fact, I showed this to Bushy this morning. So
nonsense.
One.
My midfield. And then you've got two of my strikers.
Yeah, I had them last week, though.
No, this is corrupt. Oh, send me your team. Send me. Who's behind me? Oh, let me guess. Phil.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at that, we've all had a similar idea because I've obviously Virgin, Van Dijk, Dwarsky, Rodgers, Watkins, Thiago. So we've all had the same pool to pick from, pretty much.
And we've all had a Forest player in there as well. You know, I think it's a good shout. I mean, let's just dissect those games that are happening, and let's see. You know, we've got 15 minutes before this game week, so this game week, deadline hits. Be great to hear people in the comments. So if you're watching online, whether you're watching on X, whether you're watching on Facebook, on the KB Terrace Talk Facebook, or you are watching live on KB We Love Football on YouTube, it would be great to hear your comments on what you're picking and why you've picked those players individually. Really, I mean, I think we can all agree. So this is my first week in bringing Bruno Fernandes in. I'm not a convert, not in the slightest. A lot of people have been saying, because I do slate Bruno Fernandes just as much as I slate Morgan Gibbs-White. I think both of those are good players, but I just don't like them as human beings and people. I don't like how they handle themselves. But I have gone with that captain on Bruno Fernandes, just like yourself, Tom. Who was your captain, Birchie?
I had Watkins in a straight swap from Haaland, so fate chose Watkins for me.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens. But yeah, I think at this late stage to try and grab some more points, I had to bring Bruno Fernandes in. And then, everybody knows my views on Morgan Gibbs-White. I did a TikTok not so long ago about it. So, again, anybody that's watching that wants to watch some real TikTok action, you need to follow Forest Phil on TikTok. I let one loose the other day, and it was actually off the back of Mr. Bush himself. I don't know if he was trying to wind me up or what, but he had some Forest fans contact him. Even though Bushy slates Forest like left, right, and centre, apparently he had a Forest fan reach out to him and say, I don't like that Forest Phil. He's mouthing off about Gibbs-White. He should be supporting him. He's our best goal scorer. He's our best player. Listen, my furry little friend, if you're watching tonight, probably not because I'm hosting. Morgan Gibbs-White is not Nottingham Forest best player. Morgan Gibbs-White, is all right, but is as a human being, he is a scumbag.
And he also tried to do one not long ago as well.
He did try to do one not that long ago. Tom, your microphone is on mute if you were about to say something then. 1 minute. Oh, he's on the phone. No, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. I thought he was going to start mouthing off about Forest like he normally does. Bushy part deux, let's call him in French. So, they are our FPL squads for this week. Now, let's dissect it a little bit. Let's have a look at those games. Let's have a think about those games that we've got this game week. So, obviously, we've got the Sunderland Forest game tonight. Let's think about Sunderland in their entirety. Obviously, I know that Tom has chose Kelly. You've chose Roths, haven't you, Birchie?
Yeah.
You thinking that Forest can't get one away?
No, I've always had Roths on my bench anyway. I mean, Alisson got injured. That's why I bung Pepovic in for Bournemouth. So he replaced Alisson and Roth injured at the time. So I kept Bournemouth keeper in.
Yeah.
I always bring Wolf in odd times, depending on Liverpool's playing, obviously, for Alisson, for when they're at home, because they do quite few clean sheets at home. So it's always a choice to make. But that's the idea of bringing him in, because the Bournemouth weren't playing anyway. So he was the only one he had left standing. We aren't making another minus point. So I just took a risk on him. And when Sunderland play at home, hopefully they can keep a clean sheet. Tend to do that quite often this season, so a bit of a risk, but hopefully you never know.
Forest are on a bit of a bounce. They come out the weekend 4-1. Cracking win against Burnley. Yes, okay, fine. It's only Burnley, but we're scoring goals now, and I can't see it being a no score draw this tonight at 8:00. I really can't see it. I can't see it happening. There's going to be goals. There's probably going to be goals at both ends as well, which I don't want to hear, but there probably will be.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if I kept me Bournemouth keeping that, I got no points anyway. So if it gets me one just for playing 90 minutes, it's a bonus in the end of the day. So I suppose I'll take it.
I mean, a few of us are looking at some Liverpool players there. Obviously, Liverpool not been having the best of times, considering where they were last season. But do we think that having Virgil, Szoboszlai, and any other Liverpool player against Crystal Palace, do we think that's a done deal for Liverpool? Do we see that having the Liverpool players in is a strong choice on an FPL for this game week?
No, to be honest with you, because I said I've had Virgil all season. I've always kept him because he turns up when he turns up, and yeah, he has his bad games, but when he's on his day, he does tend to get quite a few contributions and stuff. So I think Virgil's always your best choice for Liverpool, because if you do come out with a clean sheet, have one of them good games, then he gets your bonus from him. But Palace don't concede that many. A few games they've had high-scoring games, but they're always 1-0, 2-0. So it's not always a good chance to have a Liverpool striker against them, because I mean, half the time it's a set piece for Palace, and also it could be a defender scoring anyway. So I wouldn't say having a team for Liverpool is going to do the job. I can't see it, not against Palace, personally.
No, I mean, what's your thoughts, Tom? Liverpool Palace? Do we think that's obviously no one's got any Palace players in their squad, so we don't feel as though we're that confident with Palace. But a few of us have got Liverpool players in. Obviously,
Palace have got nothing to play for, in effect. The manager's on the way out. I don't know if they've named a new manager yet. Not too sure. They've lost all the best players, apart from maybe Wharton and what's his face from ex-Watford player. But typically Liverpool hammer Palace, and I did think about putting Mohamed Salah in to the squad. I see a comfortable victory for Liverpool tomorrow. And you know what? I might put Salah in to replace who? I'm not too sure. I've only got 7 minutes left.
Yeah, I got 7 minutes.
So I do apologise. That was somebody checking into my holiday park.
No, that's absolutely fine, mate. That's
lost.
We know we have to jig things around to suit everything, so that's not a problem at all, mate. But yeah, I mean, the Szoboszlai, strong midfielder.
He's the best midfielder they've got.
He likes a free kick as well, so
he can score worldies. He's a great player, and it's a shame he's not going to be at the World Cup, actually, because I think he's one of the best midfielders in the world, personally. Obviously, the Republic of Ireland dumped them out. But yeah, it's a shame he's not going to be at the World Cup. But do you know what? I think Liverpool will be happy with that, so we can focus on next season. Because let's not beat around the bush here. Liverpool have had a bit of a disaster this season. Not a catastrophic disaster.
No,
Certainly not.
They're not had a Spurs season. They're not had a Spurs season, that's for sure.
They've not had a Spurs season. I mean, Spurs are obviously going to turn it around now, I think. And then
you hope, otherwise you got egg in your face, Tom. That's what you're hoping, mate.
I will wait. It's going to go one of two ways tonight, right? If Sunderland win, I am going to be insufferable. However, if Forest win, I think Phil's going to absolutely make an absolute mockery of me.
I'm gonna make it out. If Forest manage to win tonight, I'm gonna come all the way up to where you are, mate. I'm gonna pull your trousers down and just laugh at you. it's interesting. So for anybody that doesn't know, obviously, there's a little bit of rivalry going off. Obviously, we all know the general rivalry between me and Bushy about Nottingham Forest. But Tom's muscling in on the action now. And Tom is back in Spurs, saying that Spurs are going to stay up and it's going to be Forest, even though there is a team sat between us at the minute in the league with only this game week and then 4 more game weeks to go. He still believes that Forest are going to go down.
Do you know what? I looked at Opta stats, Phil, earlier. You've got between a 4 and 9% chance of relegation, which I thought was mental. So,
what are we then now? We got a bit low.
Oh, you'll be on about 0.01.
Yeah. Well, and that would be Leeds to go down at 0.01.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm going to put a 5 on Forest going down at that sort of stat.
Wow.
So we'll see. I think big game tonight. That's all I will say.
It is a very big game tonight. It is a very big game for Forest tonight.
I think Forest win, they're fine. If they lose, they're down. So
really,
okay. Well, I think it depends, because if West Ham slip up and Wolves, I think Wolves will beat Spurs personally.
I've got Wolves down to beat Spurs as well. I think
so. If Forest do lose and West Ham slip up and Wolves beat, then the Forest is still safe, you know.
Yeah. So. And even if West Ham mess up and Forest lose and Spurs still win, Forest still sit out of relegation. There's no, there's no difference. So
Yeah, but I think it's concerning. A little bit closer. Concerning times for Forest fans. I do.
I mean, we've got some tough games ahead. Obviously, we've got Chelsea still to play. I think out of the games that we've got left, our easiest game is probably against Man United, to be fair.
Here we go.
So I'm just trying to hoik him in. I'm trying to hoik him in. I'll get him. Don't worry. He'll bite. He always does.
But yeah, to be fair, they game points away likely to teams down there. So
yeah, they do. They're not very good at beating those lower league teams, are they? So I think it could be quite interesting when Forest go to Old Trafford and have their pants down and knock the ego out of them. Guys, there is 3 minutes left. 2.5 minutes left of the game week before it completely ends. If you want any pointers, you have got literally 2.5 minutes left to get those pointers. So looking at the forwards then, guys, obviously, both me and Tom have both chosen Watkins and Thiago. You've got Watkins yourself as your captain there, Virgie.
And Thiago as well.
Thiago as well. Tom, you've got Gyökeres as well, haven't you?
Indeed, I have.
So again, bit of an interesting one there in terms of Gyökeres. Obviously, that is Arsenal versus Newcastle. If anybody did watch that Sunday show, the last Sunday show of Tom's, I mentioned Newcastle United, and there's a big reason why I've got no Newcastle United players in my squad or even on my bench. I'm not saying, and I repeat myself, I'm not saying that Newcastle are going down this season. That's going to be a far-flung, fetched situation. However, where Newcastle started 2 months ago to where Newcastle are now in the league, it's quite frightening. And I think there's something a bit more than the Eddie Howe situation happening at Newcastle. And it almost feels, I tell you what it feels like. It feels like Stoke City. There's something going off at Stoke City, slightly going off the Premier League, but there is something going off at Stoke City as well that's a little bit toxic. And I think that's what's happening at Newcastle. It's really affecting Newcastle as a team. They're now down in 14th place. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone's edging their bets over Newcastle and Arsenal this game week. Because I think that's probably an easy win there for Arsenal over Newcastle. Don't know what your thoughts are, boys.
I completely agree. I mean, Newcastle, first and foremost, awful place. Listen, I think Arsenal have got a point to prove now. So I'm of the opinion now that Arsenal just can't keep dropping points. I think Arsenal will win at Newcastle at home. Because for me, Newcastle now also don't really have anything to play for. So it's Yeah, no, honestly, I fancy Arsenal to do the business.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. I think that's why there's they are sitting in a lot of people's game of the week this week or game week 34 this week. I got blindsided by another FPL podcast. I always like to just keep an eye on what the rivals are doing. Obviously, there is no FPL podcast better than this KB We Love Football FPL podcast, but I do keep an eye on the rivals, and there was a lot of talk about Arsenal players in that particular podcast, along with the Liverpool players as being strong players for this week. But a consistent thing is obviously the Forest players coming in. Obviously, we've all got a Forest player in our squad this week, which is quite rare to see. People slate me about Forest, and then they start talking about me not having Forest players in my FPL. I have bought Morgan Gibbs-White in, and it has got nothing to do with the hat trick from last week. It's more down along the lines of, obviously, we are on a blank game week this week, and so I needed to fulfill those places. And what better way than to fulfill those places with Mr. Morgan Gibbs-White himself. Anyway, that is the end of the game week. The game week has now come to a closure. So whatever your squads are, whatever your teams are, that is what they are stuck for over the next 3 days of Friday, Saturday, and Monday for the FPL. So let's have a cast back. It was a wonderful, wonderful game week last week. It was a double game week last week. Lots of points flying around, lots of players, strong players, strong teams in the double game week last week. Obviously, Man City playing twice, Chelsea playing twice. I just want to highlight that Chelsea playing twice. What's happened at Chelsea? Apart from just losing their manager in the back end of that game week, wow. I mean, wow, Pedro and Palmer, probably two of their better players, and they didn't blank, but I mean, wow, Pedro did, but Palmer virtually did. What is going off at that team?
Well, I mean, it's been, the knackered in the sense that the players are a disgrace at Chelsea. They weren't playing for Liam Rosenior. That wasn't happening. They've not scored. How many games is it since they've not scored? Is it 5 or something stupid like that? They've certainly not won in 6. And the players are a disgrace. Marco Cucurella, Enzo Fernandez, obviously don't care. They know that they're off. And obviously it's led to a man getting sacked. He's not getting the 25 million reported compensation money, I might add. He's getting about a year's wages, which is about 4 million quid, I believe.
Yeah, something in the contract wasn't there that stopped that from happening.
Exactly. And I think for you, Luke, mate, it's the worst thing that could have happened before they sat with Pal.
Yeah, I said, a lad I work with is a Chelsea fan. You live in Chelsea. And I said to him, I said to him, I goes, what are you doing? What are you getting rid of him for? Couldn't you wait until at least Monday? Because now they're going to play for that. They've been play for themselves now. I think it's going to be a whitewash over us. So long time. But yeah, I'm not happy about that. I'd rather they kept him.
But I mean, what I will say, Luke, is that they've brought in basically his deputy. So will that be any better? I don't know.
I hope not. Really
Chelsea are just a weird club, and I'll be honest, I don't like Chelsea people. I'm not a fan of them.
It's because you're northern, Tom, you say. And
no, you've got those pensioners that kick about and do one. And then you've got just don't Chelsea, whatever.
So Tom, we're trying to gain new viewers. We're trying to gain new fans. Let's not upset the Chelsea fans too much.
Well, I'll upset them. Awful place, awful club, awful everything. So
it looks like I've made Bushy bite just a little bit. Also, Phil, more chance of Forest staying up than beating United. It looks like Bushy has well and truly bitten on that one, which is happy days. Right, so let's have a look at last game week. Let's see on game week 33 what the team of the week looked like. And no, that's not the team of the week. That's Tom's team of the week. Do you know what? I've gone and uploaded the wrong picture. Talk between yourselves for a couple of minutes about the players. Let me get this right. I want to get the team of the week on. I made a right little boo-boo here, folks. And I'm saying that Tom's game week 34 is now the team of the week, apparently.
Well, obviously.
And don't forget as well, actually, game week 34 for our podcast, it starts off the cup as well. Every point you get is what happens in the cup, who you get. Cup start next week.
Absolutely. There is the team of the week. I've found the right one now. Team of the week. So to get the team of the week, you would have had to got 167 points. And look at that. Look who it is. Player of the week. Player of the week. Who would have ever thought it? Morgan Gibbs White. Wow.
Well, the thing is with that, Phil, nobody could even pick that team because there's 4 Man City players in it.
No, that was last week's game of the week, mate.
Yeah, but nobody could have envisaged that.
Oh no, of course not. No, of course there's 4 Man City players in there, but that's what they're saying basically, that the team of the week, if you picked those players, they were the highest scoring players of the week. So obviously,
I get it.
Also, a couple of nice white shirts in there as well.
Yeah, there is a couple of nice white shirts in terms of Justin Okafor. So yeah, absolutely, mate. Watkins there again. He keeps showing his face. Obviously, Haaland there. But only 13 points for Haaland. Look at them City players there. 13, 13, 13.
I captained Haaland, so I got 26, so not too bad.
And then obviously Gibbs White there with 20 points. Don't want to shine too much light on him. Yes, he's a Forest player, but he's still a knobhead. And yeah, so that was the team of the week. A pretty solid squad there. I mean, did you have any of those players in Birchie in your team last week?
Just that one. I'd say just Haaland. Yeah, I did also have Van Hecke for Brighton, who just missed out. I think he finished on 12 points. I think he got. So he just missed out on the team of the week. So I think they were my highest score. Yeah, Haaland and Van Hecke were my highest too. So
nice.
Too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at that. I mean, I had O'Reilly in. I had Cherky in. Did I have Watkins in? Can't remember. I may have had Watkins in. I can't remember now, but I definitely had O'Reilly and Cherky in. So, I mean, I finished, for anybody that wants to know, because obviously I was gloating like gloriously last week, going, you're all doing it wrong. You need all your team to be on a double game week. I actually only made 89 points last week. I made a fatal error. I decided to bring in Palmer, and I also decided to drop in Wow Pedro as well. Obviously, Pedro got a grand total of 0 points. So he did actually drop out, and I managed to get another player came in, and I think that was in the form of Matis Cunha. And so he gave me an extra 7 points, which was quite nice. But yeah, and then Palmer, he only got 2 points last week.
I also dropped Pedro, but I brought in Caicedo, who only got me 4 points, so he wasn't really much better, really.
Bush is gloating. I think he's saying he wasn't far off on the 167. I think he got 110 or something like that, Bushy. I know GH got 130 odd 6 or something like that, so well done to him. We've got John in tonight. Evening, lads. I hope you are well. He's still in hospital. I hope you're okay, John. I hope everything's going fine. And I'm sorry I've not had a chance to give you a ring this week. It's been hectic, but I'll drop you a message either later on or tomorrow. I just want to catch up with you. So, yeah. Now, Bushy also complaining, WTF are these looks like kids on teams. It was Tom's squad, mate. Because Tom likes to come on thinking he's Mr. Large Testicles with his team. I thought I'd embarrass him a little bit and put a load of babies on for him instead. I had 4 of them in mind. So Bushy had 4 of these players in his squad. So well done, Bushy. Well done to you. But yeah, looking at our FPL team. In fact, I will get it up on my phone because I forgot to get it up on the screen. Let's have a look at the FPL team and where we're all at this game week. It might not show me because obviously at the end of the game week, it likes to stop you from can't currently get on because it won't let me because of obviously the the FPL updating because of obviously the end of the game week happened only just 10 minutes ago. I also had Pedro and Palmer. Yeah, jokers, absolute jokers. I won't be. I'll be trying to avoid the Chelsea players from here on in for the rest of the season. Bob Dude's on. Evening, everyone. How are we doing? Sorry, can't be on this week. Not long finished work. I hope you've had a fantastic week, Bob Dude, and I hope you are going to have a few beers over the weekend. No pressure. Brighton aren't playing, so no pressure this weekend for you. And John, it may not show you it's updated. Am I missing something there?
You're on about looking at team on FPL.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And John also saying, I'm thinking lots of people are bringing Haaland back into their teams. Yes, they are indeed.
See, I never got rid of him. I kept faith.
And
I ride him out till the end.
That brings me swiftly onto the transfers in for game week 33. These were the big transfers in. Ollie Watkins, Jared Bowen for West Ham. Morgan Gibbs-White, he's third on the list from last game week of people being brought into teams. Morgan Rogers and Virgil van Dijk. I'm looking at that. Last game week I did have quite a few of them, I think. I think a big trend on that. For the people that did bring in Morgan Gibbs-White in game week 33, well done you. That's all I can say. Very, very well done you.
Yeah, I've always kept Rodgers, mate. I like him. I think he's a good player for Villa. I've always liked Rodgers.
Yeah, he's one of those, isn't he? He's a solid player to have in your squad. He's a midfielder. He picks up regular points each week. I think he's one of those that, you kind of guaranteed a few points with, aren't you? Looking at the transfers out, so the players that went out in game week 33. So a lot of people got rid of Joao Pedro during that. Yeah, so quite interesting with that one. Obviously, a total out were 925,844. So absolutely swiping Joao Pedro out. Some people predicted he was not going to play. Also, obviously, Semenyo was up there. Yet we know people triple captain Semenyo. There was Brian Van Dijk or Bob Dude that is on. He triple captain Semenyo, and obviously in their second game against Burnley, he got subbed off at about 60 minutes as well. So a poor route that way. Obviously, Ekitike, he's probably going to be in this list now for quite a number of weeks, based on the fact that he is out now until June, July time. So I don't think he's going to appear in many people's squads going forward. Senesi, they've dropped Senesi. Probably looking at Bournemouth's upcoming games and where that's at. And then obviously Haaland is in there as well. People dropping Haaland still. So Haaland's one of those because last week he was the most captained. He was the most captained, but he was also makes the top 5 for most ejected, most transferred out, which is quite interesting, really.
See, that's the Nessie one. That must have cost them. They were playing Leeds on Wednesday night. I'd score a couple past them. So I think people clicked on.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. We've also got John. I binned the blonde off. Absolutely, mate.
I can't bring myself to do it. I can't.
You never know, mate. It might be next week. It might be another hat trick or something.
That's right, mate. As soon as I bring him off and don't captain him, he'll get an hat trick or 4 or something. That'd be kicking me 7 then. So I'm just going to stick with him as much as I can. Ride him out end of the season and see what happens next season.
That's it, isn't it? Bob Dude's saying in his message he sent to me earlier, used his free hit. It's questionable, but with wildcard and bench boost left, could play in my favour. Absolutely, mate. You've got some good chips still floating around there. Obviously, I played my wildcard this week because I played my free hit last week. And because of obviously the game as it is, I think I've still got a strong squad. And I think I've probably got a couple of transfers that I can use next game week. I've still got triple captain left. So I'm going to wait for that final double game week. I think it's game week 36 that's planned for. I'm going to probably get some work out who it is and maybe stick a triple captain on somebody extra special and see if I can grab some more points on that. John saying I need a bench boost. I can't send you on, John, unfortunately, mate. Can't transfer chips between people. Go big or go home is what is still not regretting the decision to use triple captain, though. Yeah, obviously, Bob Dude used triple captain last week on his Semenyo signing. Use it Brighton versus Toon. Welbeck will score 7. Possibly, John. And good chips. Not many game weeks left. No, absolutely not. I know Tom's got a few chips left. Tom's had to dart out. I think something important has happened with him. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, we need to be thinking if we have got any chips left. That's what you now need to start think about. Obviously, after game week 34, there's only a few game weeks left. And if you've got quite a number of chips, it might be worth getting rid of those. Tom, what's your thoughts on what I've just said about obviously Haaland was the most captained player in game week 33, yet he also appeared on the top 5 list of the most transferred out on that same game week. Quite interesting, I think. Shows you how many people actually got Haaland, doesn't it?
Well, first and foremost, I want to apologise. It's all mad at where I work. So, very unprofessional of me, dipping in and out. So, I apologise sincerely. But yes, regarding Haaland, I don't rate Haaland. I don't think he's very good.
Is he an awful player, Tom?
No, he's not an awful player. He's just lucky to play in a team where he can. I mean, you saying that he was like most transferred out, but most captain, which is really quite strange.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't the most. He wasn't the most transferred out, as it shows on the screen.
Top
there.
5, yeah, top 5.
As you were saying, 99,309 people got rid of him. But then on the role reversal, I did have the fact in front of me a second ago. Just bear with me a second. He was the most captained in. It's not showing me now. That's really, really annoying because I had it a second ago. This is what happens with the FPL show. All the data that you have in front of you disappears. I was trying to find out how many people captained Haaland last week. But yeah, so quite interesting, I think, in terms of Haaland, how many people physically have or still have him in their squad, despite having 299,309 people last week.
He's not in my squad, and I think he hit his heights potentially. It wasn't last season, it was the season before, wasn't it, where he scored a ridiculous amount of goals, but it was obviously in a fantastic Manchester City treble-winning side. Yeah, I mean, you throw Haaland out there. I'll say this now, right? An exclusive. Haaland will never win the Ballon d'Or. Harry Kane, for me, is the best striker in Europe right now. And I think Fantasy Premier League has took a massive hit not having Harry Kane in it, because Harry Kane was the boy. Love him or hate him, and there's probably the reason why Spurs are down there. But yeah, I mean, look, Haaland is hit and miss, isn't it? He has to be literally served to him on a plate. He's not a deep playing forward. He can't create anything. What he can do is run, and he's an absolute machine running at teams. I think teams have worked Erling Haaland out now. They sit off, and yeah, he'll still get his goals. And I take it back. He's not an awful player. He's not at all. He'll still get you 25 goals a season. But I think City potentially made the mistake and not getting Harry Kane when they could have got him. I think there would be certainly winning a lot more. But yeah, Haaland for me. I mean, I know Luke. I know that Haaland's a Leeds fan at heart. He's born in Leeds. All that sort of stuff. But no, I mean, Haaland for me, yeah, he's not in my team anymore because everybody will have Haaland. It was like back in the day when everyone had Lukaku. Do you know what I mean? About 7-8 years ago, everybody had Lukaku because he would guarantee goals, or Aguero, for example. Yeah. But I think you got to think outside of the box these days about what strikers you play. So, yeah, I find it strange that he was top 5 most transferred out, but everybody captained him. So,
yeah, I find that Haaland's one of those is, and I think in general strikers this season for the Premier League, I think the better players have always been the midfielders this season. I don't. Okay, yes, you've got the highlights of Thiago and the highlights of Watkins. Obviously, John's made
Danny Welbeck.
Watkins is a tough call to make. He's probably going to go missing if he's in my team. So the likes of Watkins, Thiago, Welbeck, like you say, Danny Welbeck as well. I think they are good quality and they have that pizzazz, but it's not consistent. Yet I could name 5 or 6, if not more, midfielders that are far more consistent in points for FPL and as a game player in general than majority of the strikers this season. I think that there's no outstanding striker. Haaland's not an outstanding striker this season.
Who's top scorer this season?
Haaland.
It is still Haaland.
What's he on?
He's on 24, if I'm right. Hang on.
Thiago's one behind him, isn't he?
All right. Thiago, Haaland is 24. Thiago's 21.
Yeah, so he's only a couple behind.
And obviously, Haaland's been missing for a while, and he's still got the best mins per goals.
Well, there you go. That debunks everything I've just said.
Just shows you whether Haaland creates, and he's got 7 assists as well, so he's most start at top 1, 2, top.
Well, there you go.
Top
Luke.
15, 16, going down to top 22 and 8 goals. He's got more assists than a lot of them, so he does create as well.
Well, you know what? Literally everything I just said, Luke has absolutely picked apart with 2 stats, and it shows
I just think Haaland was bought to score goals. Whether he doesn't have to create, he doesn't have to assist, he doesn't have to do anything. As long as he's in that box and the ball comes through and he puts it back in the net, that's what you're buying for. That's a striker, that's a goal poacher. That's what Van Nistelrooy used to do. That's what you want him for, just to score a goal.
Van Nistelrooy is probably one of my favourite strikers in Premier League history. But
that's all he did. That's all he did.
I'll ask you, Luke and Phil, I know it's completely an irrelevant question. If Erling Haaland was at, let's say, Burnley, would he return those same numbers? He wouldn't. Would he?
Because you still need the quality behind it. If you put, say, a Sesko or a DCL in the Man City scheme, they won't score that many goals.
No, that's very true, and that's on the flip side. But what I will
that's
say,
because Sesko and DCL are shit.
Oh yeah, I'm just bringing points. I'm saying if you put, I don't know, you could put Goku Ares in that City. I don't think he scores that many goals.
No, but can we all agree that? I don't know if we'll all agree here. I certainly think. I think you put Harry Kane in a situation at Burnley, for example, or you look at Tottenham now, buggered until Forest bottle it, right? Right. It's no coincidence that since Tottenham have lost Heung-min Son and Harry Kane, they have completely spiraled out of control. Did Tottenham rely so heavily on them 2 players? Because I believe that they have the most goal and assist contributions as a strike partnership in Premier League history, but yet won nothing together. Which I think that's really quite insane. Yeah. And you take them 2 away from Tottenham, and Tottenham, as things stand, until they beat Wolves this weekend, are looking like,
and then beat another team the following weekend because that's far in the relegation zone.
Well, they've got to win 3 on Barrowpen to have a chance. So
for me, Harry Kane is, and I'll put it out there, I think he's the best striker in Premier League history.
So just going back to what you said, Tom, about Harry Kane and Ballon d'Or and so on and so forth, the reason why Erling Haaland, or let's face it, at the minute, any Premier League striker would not gain a Ballon d'Or, and it's got nothing to do with they're not scoring enough, there's no pizzazz with them. It's because they play for British clubs, mate. That's nice and simply as it is. They don't play in the European or that good in the world of football. And that's the only reason why Erling Haaland probably won't get a Ballon d'Or is because he plays for Man City and he doesn't play for Real Madrid or he doesn't play for
Put Bush's comment up. He's
I'm going to pop Bush's comment up. I've just seen it. Kane
fishing.
isn't as good as Haaland not having it, and this is coming from
utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. Right? Kane's passing is next level. Kane's finishing.
Personally, I don't think they're the same player.
No, they're not the same.
When you have debates on obviously better than better, I think they have to be the same player, play the same position, doing the same thing they do. That's the only way, in my opinion, that I like to say he's a better out of the two. Because I think Kane and Haaland different players. I think they're both good. Haaland's brilliant at what he does, but they're best at what he does, and Kane's best at what he does. So it's like when you put the Messi and Ronaldo situation together, I think they're completely different players.
Yeah, but I think Kane can do what Haaland does, but Kane drops deep and can pass. His passing is incredible. His vision is incredible. Haaland can't do that. Kane can do what Haaland does, 100%. Yes, he's maybe not as quick, but he's at his football and IQ is levels above Erling Haaland. Levels above.
Tom, I think you need to have Bushy on your Sunday show. I think this needs to be highlighted on your Sunday show, mate, and have that discussion between yourself and Bushy. It would be really interesting to see because all I'm seeing at the minute, Tom, is you're morphing into King Bush. When I think
I'm disagreeing with the King, aren't I? Do you know what I mean?
For once, I think it's all a
setup. No, we've done it several times.
That's what I'm going with on that one. John's saying, Tom, it's easy. Just pick the best players. Playing the weaker teams gets points easy.
It's not always really simple process, John.
Yeah, not always. Not always.
Man City play Burnley and get many points from many players. So,
statistically, Chelsea are a better team because they're up there at the top. Yeah, they couldn't finish the Sunday dinner this past game week. So yeah,
Man U couldn't get many points past Leeds that long ago either as well. So
United seem to struggle against the lower teams as well. So it's just one of them, isn't it? I think it's a bit of an odd season this season. It's been a bit crazy. The FPL is getting crazier with all the double game weeks, and we're coming towards that back end. Okay, you get to sign one for Leeds: Forest, Kane, or Forest, Kane or Haaland. At Forest, I'd rather have Kane.
I'd take Haaland after the Leeds fan who play with his heart.
The only answer is Kane. Yeah,
at Forest,
he's a playmaker, a finisher, a natural. He scored 54 goals this season.
Kane's not an arrogant little prick like Erling Haaland is, and we know what I feel about arrogant little pricks at Nottingham Forest. Yeah.
Well, his dad played for Forest. His dad played for Forest. Phil.
I know. I'm aware. I'm not that fucking stupid.
I think it's all about preference.
Yeah.
If you don't like a person individual, then they get knocked down your thing anyway. Like I said, personally for me, I'd have Kane at Leeds, but we cross a lot of balls in. Haaland's a man who can finish him for me, crosses wise. So
yeah,
as that man in the box, I'd have Haaland over Kane. Well, Kane's good at driving with the ball.
Luke, I get it, because obviously Haaland's born in Leeds. He supports Leeds. I totally get it. But Haaland, give me Kane over Haaland every day of the week.
The way we play, though, Kane have to be Haaland.
Kane's more likely to win a Ballon d'Or. Kane
will win this year's Ballon d'Or
over Erling Haaland. So as far as I'm concerned, if I was to have Kane or Haaland at Forest, it's Kane all day long.
Kane will win the Ballon d'Or. Because when England win the World Cup, right? You've heard it here first. We are going to win the World Cup, right? And watch out for shows. And when Kane wins the Champions League as well, because I fancy, don't know what you two think, Champions League, Kane's winning that. Munich are winning that, I think. Anybody think any different?
They've got a shot, good shot. It's hard, that sort of thing.
Oh, Bushy's on the wire.
Kane looks like he's running in sand. Wow.
But scoring 54 goals, Bushy. Come on, mate. Imagine if he wasn't running in sand.
I tell you what, Bushy, Kane scored as many goals as we've got watchers right now, mate. Put that in perspective, mate. Kane scored as many goals as we've got watchers right now. So talking of watchers, I'd like to thank everybody for watching the show tonight. We have been on for an hour. That's flown by, boys. That's absolutely flown by.
My apologies for
listening to Tom. The time flies when you're having fun. Guys, I just want you to all understand, and I all want you to follow us all on KB We Love Football. It's a fantastic channel on YouTube. You need to make sure that you're liking, following, and sharing it. I know we've got viewers on X tonight. I know we've got viewers on Facebook. But please, very, very quickly, jump over to our YouTube channel, which is KB. KB We Love Football. Jump over there. Make sure you give us a like on there as well. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. That would be fantastic. Bearing in mind, guys, we are coming towards the end of the season. So everybody automatically thinks end of the season, we're going to forget all about football. But my furry little friends, guess what? We are not going to forget about football. Because what's happening this summer, boys?
The World Cup's coming.
The World Cup is coming. The World Cup is coming, and we are going to be there. We are going to be live. We are going to be all over that World Cup. And this man at the very bottom here is the man that's leading us through the World Cup this year. Tom, Are you all ready for it, mate?
I can. I mean, I speak every language of all the participants in the World Cup. So hope to have people on from Brazil, obrigado, from Scotland. It ain't me, right? And you know what? We can do all that. Sadly, no people from Wales because Wales is crap, and Ireland, both nations crap, awful places. But anyway, we'll have everybody else from Morocco to Brazil, everything. We're going to be covered. We're doing live watch-alongs. We're going to do the lot. Harry, obviously, England are going to win the World Cup. Harry Kane will lift the trophy. Harry Kane, indeed, Bushy, will become the Ballon d'Or winner. So, yeah, please follow us. I will do live watch-alongs, literally everything. The second the season is over, probably after the Champions League final, I'm going to do a special show where we go, that's that over with now. Here we go. World Cup, daily updates, injuries. I've seen Lamine Yamal for Spain has got a hamstring injury. I mean, he's like the star boy of Spain, and Spain are the favourites. Not anymore, because we're coming for you. Right? So follow us here at KB Terrace Talk. We Love Football for all your World Cup content.
Bushy is losing his mind. He's saying it's a car park league. He's saying furry little friends. Oh, absolutely, mate. I've got plenty of those. And WTF. Bushy is very loud tonight, but he's decided not to come on the show because he's a bit of a bottler, just like Arsenal, and just like when they played against Leeds the other night.
Yeah, I don't think he stopped crying since they got spunked by Leeds the other night, so we'll leave him to.
But guys, we are coming to the end of our show now, and I'd like to thank everybody for watching tonight. I'd also like to thank for all the comments that have been flying in all night, which has been absolutely fantastic. I'd like to thank Luke Birch, our resident Leeds United fan, Turbo Tom, our resident neutral and World Cup lover, and Rotherham United, but we won't talk about that. And I've been Forest Phil. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and we will see you on our next show, which I believe is your show on Sunday, isn't it, Tom?
No, I imagine there'll be a post-match reaction to.
Oh, of course, there'll be
Rotherham smashing Reading tomorrow at home. So yes, I'm sure that'll be entertaining. And then following that, will be a Sunday show, which is going to be slightly different because we're changing it up to Yorkshire and Midlands rivals. So we'll have a chat about that then.
So yeah, make sure you all log on and watch Tom on Sunday. We will be back next week as well with shows, including Millers Monday, midweek Millers. There will be a Premier League show next week as well with a little bit of a touch. I'm not going to give too much away on that one. But yeah, it'll be a very, very interesting show next week. So make sure you log in next week, 8 o'clock on Wednesday for the Premier League show, which will be going live. But for now, I'd like everybody to enjoy their weekend of football, and we will see you all on the next stream. Bye, everyone.